evening, Team Superstars. We are Wednesday, November 11th, and we are live with Nathalie, and she is our professional public speaking specialist, and she is here to do part 2 to the call, mastering your 30-second pitch. As we all know, that is key to delivering the proper and a great message to your audience. So without further ado, I want to introduce you again to Nathalie, and she's gonna take over the mic. Go ahead, Nat.
Good evening, ladies of Unique. I hope you're doing great tonight. I'm really excited to be back with you and Christine. I want to extend a big thank you to Christine for inviting me again. And I want to reiterate what I said on the first call, that I am available for one-on-one with you guys. So you can call me. My number's on my website at www.nathaliemailhot.com. And the email, you can send me a quick email. We can schedule a live Skype call where we can practice together these things. We can go over your material, your presentation, your 30-second pitch to make sure it's number one for when you meet your potential clients, customers, or you have to do a mini presentation. If you're doing you are going to somebody's house to present, this is perfect opportunity. We're going to do a quick recap of what we did 2 weeks ago and then move into what I call the infomercial and beyond. It's what we want to talk about right after you have done your 30-second pitch and people want to know more. 2 weeks ago when we hung out, we talked about that 30-second pitch and how you wanted to introduce yourself, what was important. First of all, you want to make sure you have your name in there, what you do, what your title is, and how do you help people? What is it that you do that brings value to somebody's life? For me, the 3 things that are important in my pitch that I want to get across is that I'm authentic, that I love to have fun, and that I have lots of humor. I love to laugh, and I want my clients to see that. So I want you to think about the 3 values that are important to you. And I did send a list to Christine. You can actually go find it yourself. It's values.com. So if you're kind of struggling, thinking, what's important to me? What is it I want to get across? That sheet is just kind of fun, and it throws all those values out there that you can pick from. My 30-second, very easy. My name's Nathalie Mailhot. I'm a public speaking and presentation skills facilitator. I help kids, teens, and professionals like you master your authentic voices. Now, often there's 2 things that happen. People wonder, why is she mastering your authentic voice? And the other, and they don't ask, but there's a core of people that want to know, what do I mean by master your authentic voice? And this is your opportunity as a unique presenter, as a makeup artist, as somebody empowering other women, to go beyond that 30-second. A few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, I was at a networking event, and at the end of the networking event, somebody walked up to me with my business card, and my business card has a particular logo on it. I put it there. I'm going to show it to you right there. There it is. And I put it there on purpose, never thinking I'd have a logo, but that logo creates a conversation. And your 30-second pitch is what you want to do with that you want to create conversation. You want people to ask you more and know more. This logo is a throat chakra. That throat chakra, which is located here, and I'm not going to get into that right now, is part of expression. When your throat chakra is open, you're better able to express yourself, and that person connected with me on that level. But there's 2 things I'm going to share with you today. 1 is about a story, and 2 about your words. Because the beyond of your 30-second pitch is the opportunity to tell them exactly what you do, why you do it, and how you do it. For me, I was an event planner before I decided to launch my public speaking business. And people often ask me, what brought you to go from event planning to public speaking? And it's my opportunity to say, this is why I'm doing it. And after my maternity leave, I knew I didn't want to go back to my job because it was a typical 9 to 5, and I was going to have to leave my daughter in daycare for 8 or 9 hours, and that crushed me. And that's not what I wanted. It wasn't the value that I held dear to me for my family, and it's not what I want my daughter to live. Not to say that 9 to 5 is not okay. It's just not okay for me anymore. And this is where I met a coach, and she just helped me see that I can make this happen. I've been a speaker for multiple years, and now I'm putting it to practice, and I'm sharing the skills with you and many others. That's my story. And people understand it. They get it. You are probably meeting other women, and I'm going to say we're going to focus on women here because chances are those are the people that are using your product and your services. They get it. You're a mom, they're a mom, and you're speaking their same language. And that is what you want to remember. Speak their language. Tell them your story. They're going to get it. And they might click and say, I want that. Those are the words. Tell your story. 3-4 sentences. That's all you have to put out there. This is what I was doing. It didn't work for me. And I found in Unique what I wanted to do with my life. I see all of your posts on Facebook, and it's true. You guys are bringing great change, and you are empowering so many women. So tell that story. So that's the first way that you can go beyond your 30-second is what is it that you're doing and why you're doing it. And in my case, I want people to live authentically and speak their truth and go deep down and find the words that really represent who you are, because ultimately that's what will make you shine, and that's what will attract more people to you. Now, the second thing that you may want to consider, and this is in the worksheet that I've provided to Christine and she'll post for you, is your words have power. The words you choose will help you engage your audience. And when I say I'm using the word audience, I mean your customer, your client, or whoever you're presenting to. Earlier, I said my infomercial was, my name's Nathalie. I'm a public speaking and presentation skills facilitator. I help kids, teens, and professionals just like you master your authentic voice. But it goes beyond that. Because, sometimes people ask you questions and you're really not sure how to answer. Well, my job is to give you those tools and help you practice so that you can get your message across to be better understood. That is what I want to do. I help people empower themselves with their words. I do exercises, and I help them see that they too can present in an easy fashion. What do you do? What beyond do you provide? What pain point are you touching? So you may be, I know that Unique, help empowers women. I think in the early, when I did the first part, it was, I pulled from your website that, you could say, my name is Christine. I'm passionate about empowering women. I provide opportunity for personal growth with financial reward. So that was one option. Yeah, I pulled that from the website. So the impact that you have on your customers is profound in those words. So think about in the worksheet, I'm just scrolling it down on my other computer, is, you start off by saying, how. So maybe how you want to achieve that certain glow every day and shine. So I help women find the right skin tone, find the right colors that match their eyes. So they experience, you have to find those words. You guys know the exact words that you want to use that will. Christine, can you help me out? What words would you use to say, to go beyond in the terms of, using?
Well, usually I'll use words like enhance women's I enhance women's natural beauty.
Perfect. Yes.
Talk about being a makeup professional. Not everyone, and it's not a requirement to be a makeup artist to be part of Unique. However, we do become makeup expert because the more we wear our products and we learn about how the product works, we actually can put your title, and you need to own your title and have that confidence that you are a makeup professional, because you know what people want? They want to be told what to do, so they want to listen to you. So when you're telling them your 30-second pitch, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nat, but you become the expert to them, and you'll draw them to you if you exude that confidence. So I'm a makeup professional. I help enhance women's natural beauty. I offer makeup consultation. I do some makeup coaching, and I also do makeup application.
Exactly. And you are addressing a need that is out there. And that's what you want to do. So, I help them enhance their natural beauty so that they have a positive experience every day, so that they walk out and face the world every day, feeling empowered. These are the combination of words that you want to use that will go beyond just that 30 seconds of introducing yourself, because sometimes when we meet people on the street and they ask us what we do, we might just give a title, but it's not giving them everything that they need. So I want to reiterate that if you want to practice this with me, I am very open to having a one-on-one. I know Christine and I may be working on some other stuff to work with you guys, but we want to make sure that you get out there and that you are presenting it efficiently. If you're not sure what words to use, please, by any means, call me, 514-242-1344, or you go straight to my website, www.nathaliemailhot.com. So, quick wrap up. We had our 30-second pitch. We want to use our values, make sure we know who we are, what we do. In the beyond, you can either tell your story or use your words to empower, and that's on the worksheet. You can fill it out and just repeat it. When I did the exercise, I had about 4 or 5 different scenarios. Think about the scenarios that you have with the customers that you meet, or the women that you meet that may be interested in launching themselves in a unique business. That's what you want to use, is those words. Christine, that's really the highlight of what it is. So I hope that everybody's going to benefit from it, and I hope to hear from all of you very soon.
Oh my God. Okay, awesome. So I did jot down a few notes and a few questions if you have a couple minutes to answer
Absolutely.
them.
Go ahead.
But before I start with my questions, one, I want to thank Nathalie for getting on a second call with us. These are our weekly, okay, girls, so these are our weekly team calls, and they are so important for you to plug into. For me as your leader, I take time to go and research and find the proper professionals who can bring value and skills to our industry, to what we do, in order for you to grow into your business. And when you actually tune into these calls, whether you listen to the playback, because I love to record these calls so you guys can listen and listen to it over and over again, because there's a lot of nuggets that Nathalie dropped in there that are so important. Once you plug in weekly and consistently, you will see how your business will start to change. You start taking your business seriously, treating it like a business instead of a hobby, because let's face it, we all signed up to make some sort of money. And in order to make the money, we got to put the work into it. Part of the work is educating yourself. And like I said, as your leader, I provide you the proper tools. I give you the recipes. I bring the professional here on board. And Nathalie's taking time out of her busy schedule. We are so blessed and honored to have her on the call. And I will tell you that as a bit of a testimonial. I've known Nathalie for what? It's got to be a few months now, right?
Yeah,
maybe about a year. I've met her through a few different networking events that I am part of. And I've listened to what she had to say. I implemented the tips that she gave me, because it's one thing to listen to the calls, but another thing is that if you don't implement these tips, your business is not moving, okay? So I did the action, I implemented, and I can honestly tell you, now I go to these networking events and I stand up confident. I'm not scared when it's my turn to speak with my 30-second commercial. And I know that what I'm going to say, it's going to resonate with people. And I do that because of what Nathalie told me to do. So do yourself a favor. You're welcome. But do yourself a favor, girls. Get on that one-on-one consultation that she's offering you. This is a really awesome opportunity for you to take that time and learn one-on-one with her for free, okay? So I don't know like how much better it can get. All right, so here's my question.
Go ahead.
And I'm putting you a little bit on the spot.
Okay.
There are two angles, two facets to our industry. So we sell products, and we also recruit or sponsor, like we like to call it, people into the business. Now, how can we use this in our 30-second pitch and mingle both together? Or is it better to just keep one pitch for a certain clientele and then another pitch for another clientele? What's your take on that?
So I think this is an awesome question, because it goes back to 2 weeks ago when I said, or I may have not have said, you should always have 2 or 3 pitches in your pocket, because depending on who you're talking to, you're going to want to switch it up. I think you definitely have the pitch for the person who wants the product and the person who you think, they might be interested in the business. And how are you going to present it? I think you can equally present both. That you provide an awesome product and an opportunity for personal growth and financial reward. Like that's pulled straight from your website. So you can use those words together. I don't see why you couldn't. I think you can use both, or you can use them separately. Either way will work, but you're right that you do need to have a couple of options. When I go to networking events, I don't always talk about that I work with kids and teens. Sometimes when I attend a business networking international, I just stick to professionals. I don't talk about the whole kid and teen angle. Mm-hmm. It depends who your audience is. It's also by this is something we haven't really touched on, but being a great listener will allow you to choose that pitch. Thank you
for saying that. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Exactly. When you listen to somebody's story, like mine, I didn't want to go back to work. And maybe had I met somebody like you guys, I may have been interested. It's about listening and seeing what that person needs. Are they just wanting, product, or are they looking for something more? And by tuning in and really listening to what somebody's saying, you'll be able to gauge that and then, pull out of your back pocket what pitch you want to use.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's awesome. I love how you answer that. That's exactly what I was looking for. And my last question is, when you talked about piecing your story together. Now, a lot of people who are starting into this business don't necessarily have a story, right? Like I've been doing the business for almost 2 years, so I do have my story pieced together. Yeah. But what would be your best advice for someone who's starting into the business and doesn't really know how to say what they do or how to tell their story? How would they piece it together?
Well, what came to me right away was, I know that you have women who have full-time jobs and do this on the side. I would tap into what the motivation of doing it on the side is. In our cases, you have a young family, I have a young family, we wanted a change. This, their motivation may be that I think you have somebody on your team actually wants to get out of her full-time job, if I'm not mistaken. So it's that motivation to transition. It's the motivation to have more residual income. It's the motivation to use great product and the passion. Some people, they just love doing it. That's simple as that. Your story doesn't have to be extensive. It just has to be about who you are and what's important to you. And it goes back to what are your values. What's important to you? What is it that you're getting out of this company? And that's what you're sharing. And people will genuinely smile at you for just being truthful and authentic, because you're telling your story. My story, is about my daughter, and the story is much bigger than the 3 or 4 sentences that I use, but everyone's story will reflect who they are. And I think the word that came to me was the women that use Unique are clearly passionate about what they do. I see all the photos, and just that alone, you can tell they just radiate and shine with using the product. So it's bringing them something. So tap into how it makes you feel and share that story.
Oh my God. Okay. I absolutely love that. So if I'm getting this clear, basically what it comes down to is being yourself, with no pun intended, being unique, obviously.
Yes.
And being authentic. And it really comes back to never compare yourself or your journey to anyone else's, because you have your own story to tell. And if I'm speaking to those who are just started, you may not have a story into unique yet, but you have a story because you are who you are. And there's a reason why you actually started.
Yes.
So you got to tell the story why you started. You have a reason.
Yeah, goosebumps.
I always have goosebumps when I talk about unique. So if it's about, the product because you love it so much, then share that. If it's about transitioning to get out of your job, and that's what you intend in doing, and unique is the vehicle to bring you there, then share that. But then take that handout that I'm gonna post that Nathalie carefully pieced together for us, and take the time to really answer your questions and ask yourself. I mean, we always talk about this business being such a personal development journey. It truly is. You need to reflect upon yourself and find out what your true values are. Why are you doing this? And you'll find your authentic voice.
Rock on. Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so it's a wrap. We always do this under 30 minutes, and we did it. That's awesome. Thank you again, Nat, for getting on the call. Again, just want to remind you, she's giving you a one-on-one, an opportunity to go one-on-one with her, online or on the phone, whatever's convenient with your schedule. So get back to her, and I'll let her give her contact information again to make sure you guys don't miss out.
So you can reach me by phone, 514-242-1344, or go directly to my website, NathalieMailhot.com, and you can just send me a quick email and I'll get back to you and we can schedule some time.
Okay, awesome. You're the best. Thank you so much, Nat. Have a good evening.
Take care,
Bye.
guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.